What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and where they go from here in the offseason following their 4-0 exit to the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. I know I'm a little late on this one, but hey, fuck it man, better late than never, and everyone loves talking about the Lakers, so here we are. And look, overall the Lakers had a very, very good season, man. Like, they made it to the Western Conference Finals beyond a lot of people's expectations, not mine, because I predicted this shit originally. I thought they would get past both the Grizzlies and Warriors in 6, and everyone in the comments section was talking mad shit to me, but they made it. And look, I know they got swept by the Nuggets, but honestly, they put up a very good fight. It was a pretty competitive 4 games. But look, let's talk about where they go from here. How can they improve the team? They're in a very, very good situation. So let's get right into it. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff to stay tuned for more content. Thanks for watching. But look, first and foremost, they need to run it back with the same core with surrounding LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? Off-season priority number 1. Everyone knows it. Re-sign Austin Reaves at all costs. I was very high on Austin Reaves to begin the playoffs, and he exceeded even my expectations, man. He's clearly their 3rd best player, and he's going to get a lot better moving forward, and he's a restricted free agent. Other teams can offer him up to $98 million. I honestly think $98 million for what you're getting out of Reaves now and moving forward is 100% worth the money. So even if someone chucks that money at him, re-sign him at all costs. Next to that, re-sign Rui Hachimura as well. He's a bucket getter. I think he's found his place in LA. I could see him starting next season, possibly, or if not, he's in a much larger role off the bench regardless. Keep him as well. A good price for him would be about 15-20 million per year. That's a great starting point for me. Now, I think with D'Angelo Russell, you bring him back on a reasonable contract in that $15 to $20 million range. He has his flaws. We all saw that get exposed in the playoffs against the Nuggets, but still, he's a pretty useful regular season player. And if they don't keep him, they pretty much let him walk for nothing because they're over the cap anyway. So, but obviously you don't want to overpay him at the same time as well, right? So I think bring him back at a reasonable price. But whatever you do, do not go all in for Kyrie Irving. Don't sacrifice the depth on this team, because that depth is what got the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals in the first place. There is a path to getting Kyrie and freeing up, I believe, $30 or $35 million in cap space, and this is what they're going to have to do, okay? They're going to have to waive Vanderbilt and Mo Bamba, decline Malik Beasley's option, renouncing D'Angelo Russell, Lonnie Walker IV, and Rui Hachimura. That gives them $30 million, and if they want to hit that $35 million mark, they have to get rid of Max Christie as well. That's not going to end well, man. So you're pretty much going to be left with Kyrie, LeBron, AD, Reaves, that's it, and a bunch of vet mins. It's not going to work well. Do not go for Kyrie. I can't say that enough. It's not worth it. It's not worth the headache of a player that he is. Great off-ball player, great on-ball player, but you're sacrificing a ton of depth, and you're also getting all the drama that comes with Kyrie. And as a Boston fan, you don't want that drama, man. So first of all, run it back with the core. Don't go for Kyrie. Next up for the Lakers, you got to find some hidden gems in free agency, man. Obviously, they're already over the salary cap, like I mentioned. And so what they're going to have to do, the only big asset that they really have is the taxpayers mid-level exception. It's worth about $6.5 million. Now, in the past 2 seasons, they hit the jackpot with that exception. So they signed Lonnie Walker IV this past offseason with that mid-level exception, which was a great signing. And then prior to that, they signed Malik Monk, which was also a great signing. And so if they can hit the jackpot again with that $6.5 million and bring someone of that caliber into the team, they're in a pretty good position. Now, one name to look out for is probably Dennis Schroder. If Dennis Schroder is willing to probably take somewhat of a pay cut to remain with the Lakers for $6.5 million, you got to bring him back at all costs. Lonnie Walker IV's most likely gone if we're being realistic. But if Schroeder's willing to come back at a lower price point or someone else of that caliber, you got to find a hidden gem somewhere there. And then I think another person to look out for, if Schroder is gone or if D'Angelo Russell is gone, Chris Paul, man, he might be old as hell. He might be washed. He's not a starting caliber point guard on a team with championship aspirations, but hey, the Lakers, they could use another true playmaker next to LeBron, and why not bring his banana boat buddy on board if he's coming off the bench, whether it's behind D'Angelo Russell or Dennis Schroder. I think one or the other if Chris Paul's going to be in town. Bring him off the bench, 20-25 minutes a game, maybe play him in the closing lineups as well. It could work out pretty well, man. And then other than that, split out with some ring chasers willing to take some pay cuts and sign for the vet min, whatever it is. You got to find some, more depth, I suppose. And they did a great job in the trade deadline and even in the past offseason. So if they can replicate that, they're in a pretty good spot. So find some hidden gems in free agency. And so next up, you got to fill out the remainder of the roster, right? And I think when you look at this Laker roster, they're very deep, they're very versatile, but I think they have 2 glaring needs. Number 1, everyone says it, they need a true big man next to AD, someone that can play center, take that pressure off Anthony Davis from playing the center position all the time. Someone like, honestly, like a 2020 Dwight Howard, someone who plays great post defense, because you're going to need that against Nikola Jokic, can protect the rim, rebound the ball. That's literally all you need, man. Like, it's not much just for 15-20 minutes a game to complement AD a bit. If they can get that, that would be huge. And then secondly, I think the Lakers have needed this for the past God knows how many years, but they could also use some shooting. There is always this Laker curse where great shooters, when they come to the Lakers, they just suddenly forget how to shoot. You know, KCP, Danny Green, those are the most recent guys. Wayne Ellington, the list goes on. And so find some shooting, add a true kind of big man, you know, next to AD, who can either start alongside him or play pretty big minutes off the bench. That's a dream wish list. I mean, Naz Reid is a guy that comes up in mind, but I don't really see a way they can somehow acquire him because the price is going to be pretty steep. And I look at the Lakers roster. You got Mo Bamba, you got Malik Beasley. They're both on the books for about $10 to $15 million per year, I believe. I don't have that in front of me, but those are two very tradable contracts. So if you can find the right deal for those two guys in the offseason to somehow upgrade your team, dump the 2029 first round pick if you need to, dump the number 17 pick in this year's draft if you need to. If you can get one of, you know, that big man that the Lakers are looking for, that's a huge W, man. So I think that's something to look out for as well, which leads me to my next point. Make a decision on that number 17 pick. Do you keep it? Do you trade it? Like, yeah, you just got to make that decision because obviously whenever you have LeBron and AD, it's always championship or bust. Do you want to draft another player who's not going to be ready to help them contend, or do you want to ship that first round pick, maybe a Malik Beasley, a Mo Bamba, whatever it is, and try and get someone else in return that can help you right now? That's a decision they got to make as well. And lastly, what I have is give Max Christie a bigger role, man. Like, he's young, obviously, and kind of contradicts my previous point with the rookies and young players not being able to help out. But I think Max Christie is an exception. This guy, you know, from what I've seen from him on the court, he's shown flashes of, you know, great role player potential. He's very, very young. He's got good size. He's got good length, and he's shown tremendous defensive instincts as well. I think he can be a real contributor on the Laker team. And this season, he shot 42% from three, albeit obviously on low volume because his playing time was on and off. But you give him a full offseason to develop under Phil Handy, who's one of the best coaches when it comes to player development. And man, I think he can be someone that can contribute 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes a night next season for the Lakers. You know, Austin Reaves came out of nowhere. Why can't Max Christie burst onto the scene as well, right? I think he's got some potential. So I think give Max Christie some minutes, and the Lakers, they're in a pretty good spot. So that summarizes my Lakers off-season guide. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you guys think the Lakers should do? Thank you guys very much for watching as always. Like and subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.